welcome to your strength training workout. Today, we are gonna do what's called single, single, double, okay? And it's a 2-minute interval. So what single, single, double means is, let's say we're gonna work our chest, we're gonna work one arm, and then both arms together. If we're working the legs, same thing. One leg, then both legs together. The equipment you're gonna need is you're gonna need something that's gonna slightly elevate you. Like I have a top of a step, so that's what I'm gonna use. You can use an ottoman top, but if you don't have anything that slightly elevates you, use your mat. I will cue you and it will completely work on your mat. Then you will also need weights. I have a heavy set of weights and a medium set of weights. If you don't have weights, think outside of the box. Jugs of water, jugs of laundry detergent, cans of soup, anything will work. So just think about what might load your body. All right, team, we're gonna start out with a heavy set of weights because we're gonna work our legs. So like I had mentioned, we're gonna start out with that 2-minute interval, and it'll be a single, single, double. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna step back in a lunge, step back in a lunge, and then you're gonna squat. So step back into the lunge, step back into the lunge, and then squat. As you step back into your lunge, think about driving that back knee down towards the floor. So take that knee, drive it down, and drive it down. But you never want to drive it so far down that it touches the floor, okay? You almost want to stop it right at a 90-degree bend. And then as you step it back, think about pulling your shoulders back, think about bracing your core, and then think about keeping your shoulders directly over your hips and your hips directly over that knee that you're dropping down to the floor. So we drop that knee down, we keep our abs braced, we keep our shoulders over our hips. On the squat, when you go into that squat, heels slightly outside of the hips, and then knees. You press them slightly out for perfect alignment. How are we doing on time? We're doing great. When you drop into the squat, push your tail to the back side, as if you literally are gonna sit down, and then rise up and squeeze your glutes together as you rise up. So you step back, you drive your knees out, you squeeze your glutes together as you rise, okay? So squat, squeeze your glutes together as you rise. And down. We have about 3 more. Keep your abs braced. Posture, super, super important, right? How about 1 more? Step back, then squat. Awesome job. Okay, first 2 minutes done. I'm gonna set my weights down, and I'm gonna bring my step top around. We're gonna go into chest. You'll probably want your heavy weights for this. Come on down. We'll get the watch set for that 2-minute interval. And team, you're right here. So again, single, single, and double. Single, single, and double. Form. Your elbow's gonna come out to the side, and you will always, through the entire move, keep your hand directly over that elbow, okay? So even from the bottom, all the way to the top, keep that hand directly over your elbow. You're gonna wanna brace your core really tight. So then your core is anchored into your bench top so that when you do your single, you don't lean to that one side. Now for those who don't have a bench top, no big deal. You're down on the ground, you're doing exactly the same move, but you're stopping right before your elbow touches your mat. So just keep it a hair right above that mat. That way you keep your muscles engaged the entire time. As you drop down, think about lengthening from the shoulder to the elbow. You want to lengthen that. So as you drop, feel this. Feel your shoulder blades come to your spinal cord because you have lengthened from the shoulder to the elbow. And then as you press up, take the inside of your elbow and push it in. Push it towards the other arm. That will really activate that chest, firing it up. All right, let me check on our interval. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing great. So single, single, and then both out, and you squeeze your elbows in. You can even squeeze your elbows in on the single too. So feel that move, squeeze in. Feel the chest really activate as you squeeze your elbows in. How about we'll do 2 more full sets. So elbow in, and then together you push them both in. Last one, elbow in, and then both in. Perfect, okay. Set your weights down. We're gonna go into back. Some of you guys might wanna use that heavier weight for your back. That's perfect. I'm gonna step down a little bit, and we're gonna do rear delts. So again, setting up the interval, shoulder roll for good posture, you lean on over. Single, single, and then double together. So single, single, and double. You're gonna wanna press your elbow up, even with the shoulder. So take that elbow up, and take the other elbow up, and then both up together. Just like when we did the chest press, I want you to think about lengthening from the shoulder to the elbow. So think about making that really long, and then always keep your hands directly underneath the elbow. It's the exact opposite move of the chest press. You know how we always kept our hands directly over the elbow? Now we're keeping them directly under that elbow. As you do your singles, your body's gonna wanna twist. How do we stop that body from twisting? You know how. Just pull your belly buttons up. Just brace that core tight and keep those shoulders parallel with the floor. And if those shoulders stay parallel with the floor, there's no twisting happening at all. So press the elbow up, and as you press the elbow up, feel that shoulder blade. Feel it slide right into the spinal cord every time you press the elbow up. But we're not gonna end there. We're gonna think about the inside of the elbows now, and you're gonna press them in together. So here, press that elbow in, then both press them in. So when you do your one arm, still think about pushing the elbow in, still think about pushing the elbow in, and then both you push in. That way you're working your back, but you're also working your chest. I'm gonna check on our time, see how we're doing. We're doing great. We have about 2 more to do. So here, elbows in. Here's our last one, and then elbows in. Fantastic. We're gonna go back down and do our chest. So I'm gonna set that lighter weight to the side. I'm gonna use the heavier weight again for the chest. So come on down. This time we're gonna fly. All right, so weights back up over the chest, belly buttons pulled down for an awesome ab brace. You're gonna open, and then both open together. So you know it. It's a single, single, and then a double. Form. You have long arms. You have soft elbows. You keep your weight over your chest. A lot of times we want to bring our weight up over our shoulders or even our face. No, let's not do that. Focus on keeping the weight over the chest. That way we load the chest, right? All right, long arm, and then both are long. So I wanted you to focus on that long arm because you're gonna feel that shoulder blade slide right into that spinal cord. Feel that shoulder blade slide right in. Then team, we're gonna go back to the same thought of inside of the elbow. So you press the inside of the elbow, and then you squeeze them both together. That way you are working the chest, but you're also working the back. And the back is when you open, and the chest is when you squeeze shut. Again, if you start to feel like you're wiggling a little bit, just pull those belly buttons down tighter. Pull them into the spinal cord so you have a nice ab brace. And if you are just on the floor, on your mat, on the floor, just don't let your elbows touch the floor, right? Just stop about a hair right above before they're gonna touch. All right, we'll finish the set. I'll take a look at the time, see how many more we have. We're almost there, you guys. So you open, and then, ready? Squeeze together. So here you still squeeze that arm in, you still squeeze that arm in, and then both together you squeeze them in. We have about 3 more, okay? Abs braced, because if your body is starting to fatigue, you're gonna wanna lean the way of that one arm. Don't let that happen. Let's work our core while we work our chest. We have 1 more, and then we're at our interval. And let's do them both together. Fantastic. All right. I'm going to switch to the lighter weight again because we're going to do reverse flies. But if you want to stay with that heavier weight, that's absolutely cool. All right. So, always posture check, lean on over. Single, single, and double. Single, single, and double. Arms are long, elbows are soft, shoulders stay parallel with your floor so that we don't twist. And remember, the way to stop our body from twisting, just pull those belly buttons up. Pull them up tight to secure that ab brace. Now when you open, feel your shoulder blades slide right into the spinal cord. So here we go, let's feel it. It slides in, and then it slides in, and then they both come in and slide together. So yes, this is a back work, but we can work our chest too. And you know how to do it, but I'll help remind you. When you come together, squeeze in, just like that. So that squeeze in will work the chest. That squeeze with the shoulder blades on the back, that works the back. And then, because you are leaning over, you are isometrically working your lower back. Pretty cool, right? And if you guys push your heels into the floor, just like that, drive those heels in, you're activating your hamstrings. And that's always cool, because when we say back, sometimes we just think of the literal term back, but not the back of the body. We can work every part of our body by thinking about engaging muscles, even if they're just holding our body up. But if you engage those muscles, you're working them, and that's cool. So gravity, you may want to start to pull those weights down. Don't let that happen. You control the entire move through the entire move, okay? After this double, I'm going to check on our time, see how we're doing. We're there. That went really, really, really fast. All right, you guys, stand up, pull your shoulders back behind you. We're going to go into biceps. You know the plan. It is single, single, and double. Single, single, and double. Let's discuss form. Our form is, our weight comes up to our shoulders. So you pull the weight up to the shoulder, and then both. When your weight returns back to your leg, notice it stops right at your leg. So we don't let that weight swing back behind our leg. And I'll demonstrate it. Like not this, okay? Because that's momentum. If we let that swing happen like that, then we're not truly just working our muscles. We're using momentum to help that swing up. We don't want to do that. The other thing that I quite often see is on the bicep curl. Pull the weight straight up and straight up. And I know you think, well, of course, yes, of course I would do that. But some people pull in their shoulder when they do it. And the shoulder work looks like this. Notice how I curled up more in front of the body instead of keeping the weight here. here, here, and then both together. So you really want to keep the weight as far away from the body until you pull it into the shoulder. You don't want to slide it up the core. That engages more of the shoulder, and we just want to work that bicep, and this is the best way to do it. All right, checking on time. We're doing awesome. Think about your posture. Think about your ab brace. Think about your shoulders directly over your hips. How about we go ahead and do 4 more sets? So here, here, and then both together, and you drive the weights into the shoulders. 3 more sets. Pull the weights into the shoulders the entire time. Pull in. 2 more. Abs pulled in, shoulders pulled back. 1 more team, and you're there. Right here, and up. Amazing. Now, if you need to set your weights down and shake your arms out, you guys do that. I'm gonna get us set up for the tricep kickback. Again, remember, single, single, double. So, set posture, lean over, elbows up. Single, single, and then double. Single, single, and double. We want to keep our elbows locked in close to our rib cage, okay? So what I mean is keep them in here. Don't let them flare out here. Keep them in nice and tight next to the rib cage. Then you push that elbow up to the sky or up to the ceiling, wherever you guys are at. And once you have that established, then you push your pinkies up. So just truly drive your pinky up every time, activating that tricep, the back of the arm. That tricep runs from the shoulder to the elbow. That's a huge muscle. So let's think about working that muscle by pushing that pinky straight up. Again, we're leaning over, so you know what else we're working. We're working our lower back. When we work our lower back, we have to support it by pulling our belly buttons up. So make that a strong ab brace. Then push heels in, activate the back of your legs too. Kind of cool, right? We're working the back of our arms, but we're also working the back of our legs. So press back, and then both back together. How high can you push your pinkies up? Drive them up as high as you can. Okay, after this one, I'm gonna check on the time, see how we're doing. 14 seconds left. So press. Are you starting to feel it in those arms? I hope so. Press. How about we commit to 2 more? We got this. And now just 1 more. So you press, and then both together. Awesome. All right. Roll out those arms. Fantastic job. We're going to go into shoulders. Set your posture. Brace your core. Bend your arms. And single, single, double. Single, single, and double. Your goal. Press your elbow up even with the shoulder. So drive it right up there, and keep your hands even with those elbows. When you lift your one arm, you may want to tilt. And the reason why you might want to tilt is you want to pull in your core to help work your shoulder. Don't do it. The only way to pull in our core is to drive our belly buttons straight back into the spinal cord. And then that keeps our core solid. That keeps our shoulders directly over our hips. So straight up, elbow, elbow, and then both together. So you're right, we're working shoulders. You're right, we're working core. How do we bring in the legs? Drive your heels into the floor. Drive them in, soften the knees, feel your legs become very strong, and feel your legs become anchored to the floor. Every once in a while, you're going to want to start to lean into the move. Don't. Keep your shoulders over the hips. Keep your posture tall. And the way to do that, you know what I'm gonna say, ab brace. Oh, I did 2 together, didn't I? I was talking too much. All right, let's check on the time. How are we doing? 20 seconds left. Single, single, and double. Single, single, and double. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it through your lateral delts? That's what we're working when we do this. So elbow up, and then both. Let's commit to 3 more. Keep the shoulders over the hips. Don't tilt into the move. We have just 2 more. Up, and now 1 more, team. Up, up. Perfect. Awesome. Set your weights down. We are going to take advantage of our mats completely. So I'm going to move my bench top off of my mat. And then move my weights out of the way. We're going to work a little bit more of our legs before we go into core. We're going to bridge. So let's set the time. What you're going to do, you guys know it. Single, single, and then double. So 1 leg lift, 1 leg lift, and then both together. You're gonna pull your belly buttons in nice and tight to support that spine. You're gonna press that one heel in, press that one heel in, and then both in together. So feel the hamstrings, feel the glute connection as you do your bridge. Don't use those arms. Those arms are just hanging out. This time I'm gonna say, don't press those arms down. Don't activate those arms. They might be there to help you stay balanced, but outside of that, all the work is coming from the legs. So push your heels down as you drive your hips up. Push your heels down as you drive your hips up. But remember, as you drive your hips up, pull your abs down. So it's almost like the 2 muscles are fighting against each other. The glutes and the hamstrings, which are pushing you up, are fighting to go up, and the abs are fighting to stay down. So you keep pressing and flattening your body as you work those legs. Press, and then both together. When you do both together, I want you to squeeze your glutes, okay? Squeeze both those glutes together as you press your hips up, and then both together. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing awesome. We have 15 seconds. Up, and then both press up. Squeeze those glutes, squeeze those hamstrings, and then everything together. Let's commit to 2 more sets. That'll bring us to our 2-minute interval. And now 1 more. Up, and then both up. Awesome job. We have 2 more exercises to do. So about 4 more minutes, you guys. We're gonna come back down and we're gonna completely focus on the core. Single, single, double. So single, single, and then together right in the center. So we're working 1 oblique, we're working 1 oblique, and then we're working rectus abdominis. So we twist, and then both together. As you twist, team, think about lifting that shoulder off, and then both shoulders off. So lift one shoulder off, and then both off. Keep your elbows out to the side so you can barely see them. You don't want your elbows to come up in front of your face. That means then we're pulling a little bit on our neck, and we don't want to pull on our neck. We don't want to use our arms to make this move work. We want to completely work our core. So to do that, elbows stay to the outside. Think about lifting through the core, and then right here, just sliding your ribs down into your hips. So you lift, And then you slide them down into your hips. Shoulder up, and then both up. Up again, and then both up. How are we doing on time? We're doing awesome. Really feel the rotation. Feel the rotation as you do your oblique twist. So rotate, shoulder, bring that shoulder to the leg, and then bring your ribs down to your hips. Shoulder to leg, ribs down to hips. Keep going, team. You are doing amazing. Think about all the muscles right now you're working in your core. You're working your obliques. Those are your side muscles. You're working your rectus abdominis. Those are your stair step muscles, the ones that run straight up and down your core. After this one double, I'll check on our interval. Oh, we're there. In fact, we went a little bit over, but that'll be our secret. All right, last one. Knees up over our hips. Single, single, double. Single, single, double. Single, single, and double. All right, we have to visit form, right? Take your belly buttons, draw them down. Draw them down into your spinal cord so that spinal cord stays pressed, okay? Super important for that spinal cord to stay pressed. That means your core is completely engaged and you won't hurt your back at all. Then extend long, and both long. But maybe a full extension is a lot, and that's okay. Here's where you're gonna be. Maybe a little smaller extension, or maybe even a tap, and then both legs tap. So you get to choose what option completely works your body. Remember our goal. You want to be challenged, but you want to walk away feeling successful, because that success makes you want to come back and do it again. Check the shoulders. Make sure they haven't creeped up by the ears. A lot of times when we work our legs, when we work our core by moving our legs, our shoulders want to crawl up into our ears. Keep them down. Keep a nice long neck. Extend. Long, and then both together. You are working your transverse muscles. Those are the muscles that run hip bone to hip bone. Those are the muscles right here. So you draw them in as you extend. Our abs, that is one muscle we don't want to form out. You know, like a bicep, you want people to see your bicep. Abs, you want to draw them in, so you form them flat. That's the goal. Every time you extend, you draw your belly buttons in to have those abs flat. Team, one more set. Here it is, long, and then both together. Amazing, amazing job, you guys. Thank you so much for being with me. And if you guys enjoyed this, please thumbs it up and please subscribe. Have an amazing day.